I trust the dusty streets, inescapable advertising, and high-strung citizenry live up to your expectations of an Auntie's Choice Company town?
Introducing Auntie's new line of specialty drinks for the discerning consumer. Auntie Fizzo.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just Taro excrement. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. You know, you might be right. I'm reliably certain I do not want to find out. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Sure as I am, there's a fine tale to be told there. I've got one of my own to share with a more pressing need to address. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost him hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, would be my guess. That sort of name-calling is unwelcome and uncalled for. If you don't want to help, then be on your way. No one nailing your feet to the ground. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
actuators.
Suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. I forget. You invaders are not raised on the same diet of knowledge as we in the Protectorate. How small your uneducated mind must be. Trapped in worthless superstition. If you've been the one entrusted to capture us, the invaders have sorely underestimated our ability to defend ourselves. Of course, I know why you're really here. You have come to exact retribution for our larceny at your greenhouse. How coincidental. When we've finished here, your fellows will call your death the same. The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on one or two forays. You must have a weak mind to have fallen prey to such dubious marketing. I bet you don't even know half of what's in what you consume. The horror of it. Starving? Hardly. We have greater stores of strength than you suppose. This hunger is a momentary distraction, nothing more. Do not speak of biology to me, interloper. We are not the same. I am built in accordance with the paradigm. And you are insubstantial, weakened under the burden of choice. If you are conniving for some concession of weakness, you will be a long time waiting.
Thought I saw you disappear in here. Oh. Seems I've stumbled into quite the shindig. You lot been hiding out in here all this time? Touch cramped, ain't it? You've got me there. Nothing enigmatical about a trio of Protectorate stowaways.
The more I listen to invaders blathering, the more convinced I become of the need to rid our fair island of your wretched stupidity by any means necessary.
Not very copacetic, are you folks?
If this exchange is not to your liking, I can accommodate you with a bullet instead. Spare me your insults. They mean less than nothing coming from the mouth of a corporate pet. I would sever my own hands at the wrist rather than sign a corporate contract. A generous offer. But we prefer to die in the service of the Sovereign. I will admit, dying like a cornered sprat is not the righteous future the Order predicted for me as a child. But what other option is there? Failure is disallowed. Surrender is treason. Very well. With so many invaders yet to slay, I would be remiss to relinquish our lives in such an unworthy duel. We surrender. For now.
That was some slick talking. Can't believe you got them to surrender without firing a shot. I thought for sure we'd have to blast our way out of here. Guess I had this mystery all wrong. Small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. Huh. Well, she always did wrench my funny bone with her pranks. It must seem woeful of me to be carrying on in this fashion, though, don't it? Looking for signs and such. I appreciate that. Never really talked about the direction of my thoughts on this topic with no one before. Wow, it's like I'm lighter. Thank you for everything. Truly.
This is but a momentary setback.
Haven't you done enough harm? I've nothing to say to you, interloper.
Can't get that Andy's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
Stop that scrounging around.
Emmeline will be pleased not to have to worry about her fruits and such going missing anymore.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. Seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me. Though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it, though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? When it results in a bunch of innocent folk getting maimed or murdered? Yeah, I call that pretty squarely evil. How can you be so even-tempered about this? I know you didn't know her like I did. Like I thought I did, but she betrayed us. She killed our friends, Commander. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Some might embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figure my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. Ain't cynical if it turns out true. DeVries was willing to sacrifice us. I have to know what for. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic. Real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Used to think they were good people trying to do right by their beliefs. But if they put the idea in DeVries' head to leave us for dead, might be time I reassess that opinion. I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat. Math, science, the grand architect, void, even capital. I know how most colonies run. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. No, didn't even know DeVries was alive until she brought the satellite down. Until then, what kept me going was mostly training and stubbornness. And Val. But to your point, holding someone who's wronged you accountable for their actions ain't an act of vengeance. Some might call it justice. Right after we get answers. Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly like.
Let's keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Hostile wildlife. Familial classification, Raptidon. Detected ahead.
I swear that wasn't planned.
Let me...
Not ready. Please try again later.
We're closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Obviously, as the result of the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. I don't know. I'm no scientician. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded. It is of no matter, regardless. I do not know where she is. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it. He's an archivist from the Order. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense.
I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it, and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter. And she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. Yes, and I am ashamed to admit it. Though if she hadn't wanted me to, she wouldn't have told me the code. Same one she used for everything. 15-778.
That is Agent DeVries' identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472. 472 means they're gonna fill anything that moves full of holes. Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472.
Stay in line or I'll knock you to the bottom of the org chart.
Think about the damage those Crabbles are gonna do to my machines.
They're Crabbles. They ain't gonna do nothing to your precious terminal. Only thing they're a danger to was us.
Yeah, you may have the right of it. I just ain't certain.
If you're wondering why there's so many engineers sitting here on their rears, it's because the dang Crabbles ran us out of the desalinator. Now we're stuck here on standby wages.
Word is, Silver Street is ordering a watch on the Protectorate survivors in Westport. Once any change is reported. I hate that kind of work. It always sounds like so much effort. That kind of thing ain't even on my contract. Silver Street is offering bits rewards for anything of a good we can do. But I do love it. Come on, friend. Let's go set our lamps on something juicy.
Scout, report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting to a stop.
These anti-soldiers seem twitchy to you? I gotta sneak on them.
potential combatant in the vicinity.
Why is this door open? Isn't this lab meant to be secure? Doesn't anyone else have standards in this place? You want high security? I'll give you high security! Did you have an appointment?
My annoyance is palpable. My frustration knows no limit.
Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on
Commencing combat-related promoting team.
our sprint. Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the Sprag race. Just didn't account for all these Krabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hunt the Krabble skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Looks like the place. Lord, I haven't felt this high-strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Niles.
Howdy, Zeb. You look... well...
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say, you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
Ah, yes. The same commander who nobly ordered you to leave your colleague to perish under rubble.
I know it, Commander. We all did the best we could on that mission.
Perhaps my words were too pointed. It is difficult to erase the memory of how Niles came to me. Half torn up, on the border between life and death. But that was years ago. So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine.
Hang fire, Commander. Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting...
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please. It has to do with the location of a vault rumored to house the Protectorate's greatest technological advancements, including its skip drive designs. That's all I'll say for now.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, That means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
I'll answer what I can. If you must know, it was my sister. A neighbor reported her for some misconduct and she was taken to be refreshed. I never heard what her alleged crime was meant to be. The woman who returned was nigh unrecognizable. The injustice of it rattled me. And once I began to look into what had happened, the more discomfort I felt. Then I met Niles. He told me the truth about other colonies. Made Arcadia feel so small, claustrophobic, repressive. And my smoldering resentments became a full conflagration. Stop there. I know what you would ask, but I've done my best to put that unpleasant experience behind me. Please respect my wish to avoid reopening closed wounds. The Crabbles? They keep people away who might otherwise stumble into my operation here. I feel kindly toward them. Ah, of course. Hogarth and his unfortunate charges would be top of mind if you've explored the nearby settlement. I sympathize with the plight of those in Westport. They want nothing to do with me, of course, or anyone outside the Sovereign's grace, which has been to my benefit. I do believe that one day, the truth of the Protector's iniquity will be too obvious to ignore. But for now, not even a crowbar could pry open all those shut eyes. Do you always put your hands on other people's things? Quickly. I have to prepare for other contingencies, should the worst come. Do you always put your hands on other people's things?
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Literally everything I own is underwater.
What do you mean? Everything we have belongs to the Sovereign. We own nothing. But surely the Protectorate will provide anything you need.
Of course they will. Doubt is a tool at the end, simply saying I'd rest easier if you'd been assigned to it. Originally. That generator goes, this town's finished.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk
How empty are the lives of the happy subjects that they need to rely on consumers and to find meaning?
on the Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and indoctrinatory falsity.
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
To sustain our sense of community, they sneer.
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors, but I may just invite him over.
Designed it, and the Sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant.
Trust the plan, preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the Sovereign.
Fine quote. My favorite is, we must rout all disruptive factors and invasive elements.
Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life.
The wireless says that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
The Sovereign really does think of everything.
Well, it's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting.
Right now, the Paradigm needs our houses underwater. Hopefully it'll need them dry again someday, but until then, it's a short swim down to your possessions.
Prudence dictates we may...
You locked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. Oh my. Once again, I find chance to thank the Sovereign for our perfect society, for providing us thoughtful guidance to keep us from going horribly astray, like outsiders do. Just mentioning. No reason right now in particular. All right. Well, don't let me keep you.
You've returned. Word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they've started the war to grab any part of the paradigm that they can.
A perfect society demands perfect thoughts.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses. But then, how do I cook the fish?
here often. Goodbye. This unit, enjoy our banter.
Stranger?
Greetings. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance. Our society was built from the bedrock up, through the vision of our matriarch. Due to her genius, the structure of our society is perfect, planned down to the last subject. We all work as a unified whole for the betterment of all. Unlike those corporate colonies, where it's every person for themselves.
Designed it, and the Sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance.
Obviously, there was some sort of betrayal from within. Even a perfect society has its malcontents, and selfish consumerism is an alluring drug for weak minds. But consider all we've achieved that others have not. Why, we've even eradicated manual labor through our perfection of auto mechanicals. Can aunties claim such?
A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community.
Actually made me chuckle. And here I'd begun to think that no longer possible. That brings me to a matter I'd like to discuss with you, actually. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence. Automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological...
No. As I stated, as a means to seek a reprieve for our remaining residents, if not myself. A harsh judgment looms in our imminent future for our cowardice or negligence, depending on the Arbiter's interpretation. I will certainly be executed.
Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive...
Yes, because my subjects need me. As vigilant, I vowed to protect them to the end. The fact I can now see it coming changes nothing. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's Choice saboteurs.
The system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain...
Well, obviously, we've forsaken our duties as members of the Protectorate. It is incumbent upon us to fight to the death, yet we still live, as does our enemy. Now, either the Arbiters arrive to execute us, or this place falls under the vapid boot heel of Auntie's Choice. No matter who wins, we cannot sustain ourselves here for long.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste.
My linguistic embellishments are somewhat beside the point. This here's a matter of accountability. Responsibility was mine. Disgrace and judgment should be mine solely as well. My intention is to absolve my subjects of any and all such blame. I owe it to every single person here to try. Against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed...
That's abundantly kind of you. Though there must be something I can offer.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism...
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there. Once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask? Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
We're all in this together.
The matriarch...
Farewell now.